Going to be all about um, 2026 and how it can be different. And it's easy to make some changes that are really going to make 2026 a different year if you're looking to make some changes. And you may not even be looking to make changes, but some of these might even make it better for you. So, and thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. So, welcome everybody who's here. I wanted to start by saying that. You know, we can change everything about how our new year is going to look like. We can even change the end of the year. And it's really based on who we spend 10 minutes with each day. It's as simple as that. It's 10 minutes of our day, and who are we spending time with? And this is an interesting, easy thing that most of us don't even think about. So, your future is really shaped by who you spend just 10 minutes a day with. So, it can be made better or it can be made worse. My name is Deborah Heiser. I'm an applied developmental psychologist. My area of focus has been on midlife and aging, but everything I talk about is applicable to any age. I'm also the author of The Mentorship Edge, and I was founder and CEO of the Mentor Project for 8 years. So I'm really excited to talk about how we can make change in our lives in just 10 minutes with the people that we spend time with. So if you're looking to make a change in 2026, you're looking to make 2026 a better year for you, I have some ideas for you that might be very helpful. And they don't take a lot of time, but it's just a new way of thinking about things. So, before I go any further, I want to have you just think about something. It's more of an identity test in a way to think about the last person that you had a meaningful 10-minute conversation with. It can be anybody. And this could have been this morning, yesterday, or earlier this week. Just think of the last person that you had a 10-minute conversation with that was meaningful. So, did you find that they made you feel bigger, or did they make you feel smaller? Were they saying things that made you feel like, wow, I'm uplifted, I feel better about myself? Or did they make you feel worse about yourself? Um, did they lift your energy or did they drain it? Did they speak positive of possibilities that you have or limitations? Did they leave that conversation more confident? Did you leave that conversation more confident? Did they leave it unsure? Did you leave it unsure? And finally, did you feel seen by this person, or did you feel dismissed by this person? And the person that you should really be thinking of when you're going through this exercise is, who are you spending the time with? A lot of people spend time with individuals. They may make them feel better about themselves, or they may make them feel worse about themselves. And we often don't think of this as having a real issue. Hold on a second. I need to just get somebody out of here. I need to remove somebody. Thank you. All right. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you. So let me go back to this. When you have a person who is making you feel bigger, you want to spend more time with them. They're going to make you feel really inspired. They're going to make you feel like I can do anything. If you're around somebody that makes you feel smaller, maybe they're bragging about all the things they can do. Maybe they're telling you all about the things that they're better at, or the things that you've been aspiring for, but that you're not there yet. And then you end up feeling smaller. That's not going to push you forward. That's going to make you feel less than. If you're around somebody who lifts up your energy, you are going to want to go do things. You are going to be really, working towards doing a lot of things. If somebody's speaking about all the possibilities that exist, all the things that can be done, or they're talking about limitations, that can shape how you're going to go about the rest of your day, or other things. It can really make a big difference for you. So, If you end up leaving a conversation feeling more confident, know that that's a person that you want to be around more often. This is going to help to shape you into the person that you want to be in 2026. You can end up kicking off the new year in a new way that's going to make you feel like you can do anything. Thank you, Florida Mike. I appreciate you. So, if you are thinking about these short conversations that you have with people, they have much more impact than you really might realize. And so, this is why a lot of people will say, I'm just not meeting my goals. I'm not getting to where I want to be. Well, look at who you're surrounding yourself with. Just the people that you're having, quick, short conversations with. How do you feel when you're done? How do you end up interacting afterwards? Are they making you feel like you need to go and get your goals taken care of? Are they making you say, hey, I'm going to set some resolutions for this new year and I'm going to go, conquer some things? Are they making it so that you want to go set up a vision board for yourself to do new things? Well, yeah, exactly. Don't surround yourself with bad company. It's true. A lot of us don't realize the company that we're around, though, because we might have a short period of time with somebody. We don't realize that that short period of time can make a big impact on us. And some of these people we see all the time, and we don't realize that they might end up having a bigger impact on us than we know. It could be that we're spending time with people and we're just interacting with them because we're used to it. Well, this might be a time that you reflect on your 10-minute conversations and you either increase them with some of the people that are really making you feel good and decreasing those with the people that you were just, conversing with or spending time with, but that aren't really helping you out. They're making things maybe not as good as they could be for you. So, when we look at our identity, we can really end up shifting and shaping our identity in different ways in just small 10-minute increments. The way that somebody speaks with you, the way that someone reacts to you, the way someone believes in you, or the way that somebody doubts you, or the way that somebody, maybe criticizes you. Those moments crystallize in your inner voice. You start to maybe talk to yourself in a different way. You start to interact with yourself. How many times have you ever said in your mind, oh my gosh, that I didn't do that well, or oh, I should have done that better. Oh, I can't believe I even tried. Well, those will go away if you're spending time with people who believe in you, who have positive reactions to you, who speak to you in a certain way. You want to keep those negative thoughts out of your mind so that you're not doing that. You want your nervous system to really know the difference between your voice and the voices that you hear from others. So that inner voice that you have, you want to make sure that that is fueled by good, positive interactions with others. So if you speak with people who doubt you, you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to say to yourself doubtful things in your mind. If you speak with people who dream big, you start to dream bigger. If you speak to people who believe in you, your belief system changes. So this is really the foundation for everything that, we need to move ourselves forward. If you want to make a new change in 2026 and have a much better year that's more inspired, that's energized, this is something that you can do. You can start to really look at your conversations that you have with others so that you're not feeling drained, so that you're not feeling unsettled, so that you don't think of yourself as someone who's not accomplished or who can't try new things. So these are the kinds of things that are pretty easy, but they're also really easy to fall into the trap of being around people who aren't the best for us to help us to move forward with some of our positive thinking. So what you really can do at this point is to look at who you might want to be in touch with. So first, weed out anybody that you tend to have negative conversations with, people who have negative comments to say. They make you feel bad. They drain your energy. They say, oh, why would you even try? Or I tried it, it'll never work. people who do that really think to yourself, that's somebody I want to limit my time with. That's somebody I want to make sure I'm not having a meaningful 10-minute conversation with that person. I want to make sure that that's somebody that I speak with in passing, but I'm not spending a ton of time with. You want to make sure that every person that you've been around who makes you feel good, that makes you feel energized, that makes you feel like you can try new big things, that if you do try something new, they give you positive feedback about it for trying. And if they say, oh, this might not work, instead of saying this doesn't work, they instead say, oh, let's try to make this work. Or how could we solve this problem for you? So give yourself a 10-minute rule that is going to be something that you can put in place for 2026. And that 10-minute rule is that every day you're going to spend 10 minutes with just at least one person who's positive, and maybe that person you're not around right now, but maybe there's somebody that's been in your circle and you haven't spoken with them in a while. Well, get back in touch with them. Just spend 10 minutes. If you can do this every day, spend 10 minutes with somebody who uplifts you, energizes you, makes you feel like you're worthwhile, makes you feel like your ideas are good ones. That is going to change that self-talk in your mind from negative to positive. And that's going to make it so that when you're not with that person, you're saying to yourself, I've got this. I can do this. This idea is worthwhile. I'm going to try this. This is really going to be fun to do this. As opposed to saying to yourself, there's no reason I should bother trying. It'll never work. Or I'm not worthy. I don't have enough degrees. I don't have a big enough title. There's all sorts of reasons why I shouldn't try something or do something. And that 10-minute rule is really going to help you when you go into 2026 to start off on the right foot, so that you're going to start off with the right people in your circle that are going to be the ones who are going to be championing your success. So every time we're around somebody who believes in us, or who thinks that our ideas are interesting, or who they themselves are doing interesting things, that elevates all of our ideas and the possibilities that we believe are in front of us. So another thing that we can do that's helpful is to think of a mentor that we might be able to connect with. And that doesn't have to just be one mentor. I've said this in other talks before. Think of yourself as a corporation. Everyone should have a board of directors of mentors. So, if you were a corporation, you would have a board of directors that has, the secretary, the treasurer, the all of the president of the board, you name it, and they have it on the board. We should have that in our lives for every aspect of our life. And that's where we say to ourselves, I want to surround myself with mentors who are going to be thinking about how I can succeed in things. And that can be family, that can be friends, that can be all kinds of people in our life that, we're already in touch with, but who have positive thoughts about us, who have different areas of expertise than we have, and who can help us to elevate and to think differently about ourselves. So if you are thinking to yourself any way, negatively about yourself, or there are aspects of yourself that you feel like you could be doing better in, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. This is a time that you can say, you know what, I'm going to look to my left and I'm going to look to my right, and I'm going to find everybody out there who knows something I don't know, who has a positive outlook on life, who sees the possibilities in life, who sees the possibilities in me, who sees what I have, and they want to make sure that I can achieve that. So you can also do this for others as well. You can be the champion for others. You can make sure that when you're talking to others and having conversations, you are the upbeat one as well. That starts to fuel conversations so that it's good for you in your direction as well. So if you're looking for mentors, the way that I always say to look for mentors is to Stop and reflect on who you already know in your life. You are likely surrounded already by people who are in your life who have your best interest. They might be a friend that you don't talk to all that often, but that they're always in your back pocket. You might have a colleague, a coworker, a fellow student, whatever area of your life you're in or age that you are. There's going to be somebody there, and then start to build out from that one person that you identify to someone else, and then to someone else. It can be that you start to look at, if you're in school, teachers for outside of the classroom to talk with about things that you want to achieve. It can be people at work that don't have to be your boss or somebody above you, but somebody in a different department. Maybe you want to learn marketing and you're in a business department, maybe, or a finance department, or vice versa. Maybe you have an idea and you want to try something new. This is the time to look for mentors. And mentors are always, if you're actually with a true mentor, they are always looking for your best interest. They are always going to have that positive dialogue. They are not going to be mean and critical of you. So think of the mentors that you can have in your life. You can find them all over in networking groups. You can find them online. You can find them, pretty much anywhere you go. So you don't need a million, but look for what I said before, a board of directors of people who can be your champion, and think of those individuals as people that you can rely on, especially when you need to hear a positive voice, when you need to have that energy uplift, because that's what they're going to be able to do for you. And if you have it in your mind that I just need 10 minutes every day of positivity in some way that's conversational, that is going to help you to get you so that you can get to where you need to be in terms of, really feeling better about yourself and feeling like you can do more. Set out some daily questions for yourself also. The daily questions that I'm talking about are the ones that I mentioned before, that you actually reflect on the people that you've had a conversation with. And those people, maybe it was that day, maybe it was earlier in the week. Did that person make you feel bigger or smaller? You need to constantly be reflecting on this, because it's easy to go down a rabbit hole and forget, right? And then you start to get into those conversations with people who aren't so positive. So, did the people that you had a conversation with make you feel bigger or smaller? Did they lift your energy or did they drain it? Did they speak of possibilities that exist in your future, or did they talk about your limitations? Did they, point out everything that could be wrong with you trying for something new, as opposed to everything right that you have going for you? Did you leave that conversation feeling better about yourself, more confident, like you have more possibilities in front of you, or did you feel more unsure? Did you feel seen, or did you feel dismissed? We often allow ourselves to be in conversations with people when we feel dismissed, when we feel like we're not being seen, when we feel like the person is making us feel less confident about ourselves or about an idea we have. If a person is telling us about limitations that exist that make us then think, well, I'm not going to go for that. Or have you ever been in a conversation and you just feel drained afterwards? These are the things that if you reflect regularly on the conversations that you're having with people, you are going to then weed out the people or the time that you spend with them who don't make you feel good, who make you feel like you're smaller or that you don't have a lot to offer. And that's going to make it so that when you are spending time with people, they're going to be people who make you feel better. They're going to be making you feel like you have value. That self-talk that's in your mind is going to be positive self-talk instead of negative self-talk, like, oh, I don't have all the qualifications for that. I can't try that. I can't do that. So it keeps you moving positively. So if you're looking for 2026 to be a time that you can make some change, those daily questions are going to help you to really keep you on track with being around people who are positive in your life, not the people who are you are may be surrounding yourself with who you don't think it is a big deal, but they say negative things, and then that becomes self-talk in your own mind. You know, it's like contagious in a way when we hear negative things, or when we hear limiting beliefs, or when we hear things that, make us feel like we aren't as much as we are, or that things can't work out. That's a contagious. It ends up spreading like a virus, and we end up getting infected with that. And that is something that we need to really watch out for, because if you reflect on the people that you've spoken with and you say to yourself, yeah, every time I speak with that person, I end up feeling negative about myself, or I don't try something. If you spend enough of your time with people doing that, it will end up becoming something that can almost be like an infection for you that just takes over. So if you have just a practical 10-minute plan for yourself every day that you're going to set out to talk to somebody or engage with somebody, wherever that may be, it could be on the phone, it could be on Zoom, it could be on social media, it could be in your place of work, it can be at your school, wherever you are, whatever age you are, it doesn't matter. Think of a 10-minute plan that you can have for every day, that you converse with somebody who's positive, who is somebody who believes in you, who's somebody who you can tell them that you have an idea, and they are going to be like, that's a good one. Or, hey, I see some limitations, but I see that you can do this. Here, let's look at this. So you just need to make sure that you're having one of those conversations a day for 10 minutes. That's it. And that's going to keep your brain really focused on positivity, the possibilities that are there ahead of you. It's going to remove some of the limiting beliefs that you have and show you that there aren't as many limitations as you might believe there are. And this is really a way that you can transform your life, so that if you start this in 2026 and you say, I'm going to make sure I have a 10-minute conversation every day that's positive, that has the ability to make me feel inspired to do more things, or connect, or, get involved, you will have a much more productive, happier, healthier 2026 than if you don't do that. So I hope that you'll give this a try. I hope that you'll try to make just a quick 10-minute change to your day, so that you can end up having a really amazing 2026 ahead of you, full of all kinds of really amazing opportunities that you can move forward with. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'm going to be back on again tomorrow.